Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
You're dead man. That's for damn sure. Freak off through that. Tore your world up. But you know what happened? You should have never sued the liquor company. That's where you up. You don't give a about you tearing up booty holes. When you sued the liquor company, because the liquor company is owned by the biggest conglomerate on earth, the BlackRock people. You done bit off the hand that was feeding you, and now you chop both your feet and your hand off, and your head's coming next. You was making money with your just shut. You just thought your ego got out of whack because you was controlling everything at them freak parties. Now you think you control the hand that's feeding you. You stupid. He sued the liquor company May 2023. November 2023, Cassie come up with the lawsuit. Connect the dots. Cassie got two checks. She got a check from the liquor company people that put her up to doing that shit. And she got a check from Puffy to try to keep her quiet.
That really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court.
Accusers are coming forward with new allegations against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. They plan to file civil lawsuits against Combs, with the claims ranging from minors. Combs is now in federal prison awaiting trial on charges that include trafficking. Houston-based attorney Tony Busby says he'll represent 120 people who claim to have been victimized by Combs and his associates. One of those victims says he was just 9 years old when Combs allegedly assaulted him.
They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed.
Combs' attorneys have not commented on the potential lawsuits, and the cases are expected to be filed in the next 30 days.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing dozens of new assault allegations, while the rapper is still in jail after his September 16th arrest on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. 120 people have come forward with new assault allegations. Texas-based attorney Tony Busby, who is representing 120 accusers, told reporters,
"There's one guy maybe going down on him, and he's back there rolling his eyes. He hiding the mother, and when he put his head down, there's one of them white boys sucking on him."
Oh,
you understand? That has happened. You understand what I'm saying? Then you got these guys who they go into these Turkish houses. Once you get to that door, you don't go back in there. But you know what they do in them Turkish houses. Well, you can assume what they do, quote unquote.
My family reunion to vibration. Kind of got me up and such a Yo, Toronto, we come to this city, Atlanta. 2020, but I guess it 20, but I guess it Dallas. Play whatever you want to play, baby. You just here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shake to that, shake to that. Work.
For them, it's not so cool when you start to own things. You see what I'm saying? So I made a lot of money with them too. Like, there's a point, they did a deal that mirrored what Puffy's deal with Diageo was for Ciroc. So he didn't have ownership of that at any point, but he was getting a lot of money, like almost like $60 million a year at one point. So you see him go to daily on is when you see him have some issues. And these people have really strong relationships. Don't think that the civil case doesn't turn into a criminal case faster because he's making them uncomfortable. That's a big part of it. The spirits business it's not governed. They got a discus board that they created, right? If you got two companies that are $3 billion a year, and Beam Centauria and Diageo, the distribution level, it's very hard for you to get things to a point where you can do the numbers right now. They incentivize the sales force by giving them box bonuses. And then when you sell a product, you get the bonuses off the boxes that's there. But you make that no matter what product you're selling.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on.
Hey, speaking of
this is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I No,
it's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? No.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. What is this?
See you always gallivanting around to all these trips that Kim and I aren't invited on.
You wouldn't pick up for the weekend and leave your kids? You don't have help on the weekends.
I'm not saying I want to go.
Oh, this.
So who was with you this weekend?
A bunch of my friends.
Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber,
so far
French
so good.
Montana.
Do you know half the people you're naming?
No.
Are you drinking, Chloe?
No.
You have to get these margaritas out of here. Why aren't you drinking? Yeah, but
last night. She didn't go to bed.
I haven't been to bed yet.
you haven't. I want to be Chloe when I grow up, Court.
Oh, you're just so little.
Like my balls are just going.
I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. Well, this party, I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it.
So, it turns out the feds were serious when they said they were going after Diddy from every angle. The focus has shifted from the gossip about his wild parties to something much more serious. For years, there have been rumors on the streets that Diddy allegedly takes extreme actions to silence his rivals. People talked, but it was all just speculation, until now Cassie's explosive lawsuit revealed some dark parts of her relationship with Diddy. Meanwhile, rapper Lil Rod made his own shocking accusations. And now, the feds are accusing Diddy of plotting against comedian Cat Williams.
Why?
Because Cat exposed him earlier this year, and Diddy didn't like it. If you know Cat Williams, you know he never holds back when it comes to exposing the hidden secrets of Hollywood. That's part of what makes him unpredictable and dangerous to powerful people in the industry. When he appeared on Club Shay, his interview blew up social media, with everyone buzzing about it. What's even crazier is that Cat wasn't just making claims. He came with proof. And that proof wasn't just shocking, it was terrifying, showing how close he came to losing his life. Cat Williams is no stranger to controversy. But this time things are on a whole new level. What Cat Williams shared took things to a whole new level. His claims about Diddy weren't just wild gossip. They came with evidence that left people in shock. According to Cat, Diddy had been trying to lure him into his bedroom, but it didn't stop there. The situation got even more disturbing, as Cat suggested that Diddy's obsession with him had a darker side. The real question is, was Diddy simply fixated on Cat, or was there something more serious going on? Something so dark that Diddy allegedly tried to get rid of him? This all came to light after the new year when Shannon Sharpe and G. Williams did an interview that shook the internet. In true Cat Williams style, he didn't hold back and didn't care who was listening. Though Cat doesn't speak out often, when he does, he's loud and blunt, and this time was no different. He made serious accusations about Diddy, Hollywood, and some of the industry's biggest names. Sure, Cat had things to say about Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart, but it was his story about Diddy that really shocked everyone during the interview. Cat claimed that Diddy tried to seduce him, And it wasn't just mild flirting. Kat described it as a full-on attempt to get him into bed. He even said, "I had to turn down $50 million for different times just to protect my integrity." That's right. Kat said Diddy tried 4 times and he refused. Cat Williams claimed that Diddy offered him millions of dollars to break his moral code, and when he refused, things got ugly. According to Kat, Diddy didn't take the rejection well and took it personally. In fact, Kat hinted that Diddy even threatened him for saying no. If you've been following the rumors in the entertainment world, you've probably heard whispers about Diddy's private life for years. This isn't exactly new, but what makes it different is that Cat Williams brought those rumors into the spotlight with his own shocking first-hand story. For a long time, there have been rumors about Diddy's personal life, especially claims that he allegedly targets young men in the industry. And if that wasn't already raising questions, there's even more to the story.
Actually, the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra. I would actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say.
What they're looking for, because it was going on the premises of sex. They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage.
And yet nobody said, but did he get arrested finally and get the book ready to be thrown at his very, very, very dancing feet? They're gonna be his feet with that law book.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh yes, he's literally.
It truly is about the Benjamin.
Well, now when we come back, we're gonna talk more with Puffy, and if you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right, we'll be right back with more right after this.
And then Nikki recorded that at the freak off in the Calabasas. She been waiting to drop that shit on Meek.
Arrest of a former SU basketball walk-on player, Brendan Paul, who's part, police say, of a trafficking investigation of rap mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs. Paul is accused in court documents of being Combs' drug mule.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there.
He says, I want to sing for you. It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri, right? And I don't want to keep him waiting. let's just do this the right way.
And then you have them come to audition for you, right?
Actually, with a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big some people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of man he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and say, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with this is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's private parts, man.
Rumors on the street suggest that Diddy's interests might extend beyond women, with claims that he has gotten close to men as well. It's also said that his entourage isn't just made up of female company. But let's take a step back, because these rumors have been around for decades. Even back in the 90s, when Diddy was at the height of his fame, people were talking. One person bold enough to publicly mention these rumors was Wendy Williams on her Hot 97 radio show. Despite Diddy's huge influence, Wendy didn't shy away from hinting that he had some secrets, even suggesting that Diddy might have been involved with men. Diddy wasn't happy about this. Instead of responding calmly, he allegedly reacted with violence. Wendy shared that when Diddy heard what she was saying on the air, he sent members of his girl group, Total, to confront her. They waited for Wendy downstairs at the radio station, ready to scare her. Wendy said things almost got physical, but her then-husband, Kevin Hunter, arrived just in time to calm the situation down, but Diddy didn't stop there. Angry that Wendy kept talking about his personal life, he used his influence to get her fired from her radio job. Wendy, who wasn't easily silenced, found herself up against Diddy's power, as he did everything he could to ruin her career for airing out his secrets. Back in the day, Diddy made sure Wendy Williams was blacklisted in the industry. At the time, Bad Boy Records was a huge force, and Diddy had connections with some of the biggest names in music. Wendy was practically punished for speaking out against him, and while she eventually made a comeback, Diddy's attempt to silence her set the tone for how he dealt with anyone trying to expose him. His retaliation against Wendy was harsh, but it wasn't the last time he used his power to quiet people. Wendy wasn't the only one who got close to revealing Diddy's secrets, and anyone who crossed him usually paid the price. Wendy's ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, later revealed just how close Diddy came to destroying Wendy's career. While she wasn't officially fired, she was suspended, which was basically the same thing. Diddy allegedly used his strong connections with powerful industry figures like Steve Smith to push for Wendy's suspension. Bad Boy Records was a powerhouse in the 90s, and Diddy's influence extended far beyond music. So, when he demanded action, people listened. Kevin confirmed that Diddy went straight to the top to make sure Wendy was taken off the air. It wasn't just about silencing her, it was about sending a message. You don't talk about Diddy without consequences. For a while, it worked. Wendy was silenced, and Diddy kept his secrets hidden from the public eye, or so he thought. Wendy was one of the few brave enough to stand up to Diddy, and fans still miss her for that. If she were still on the air today, she would have been all over the recent news about Diddy, especially after Cassie's lawsuit. She would have dissected every detail, delivering it in her signature raw and unfiltered style. But even though Wendy's no longer on the air, others have stepped up to expose Diddy's darker side. His reaction to Wendy back then, violent and aggressive, showed that he wasn't willing to handle things like an adult.
I'm gonna inspire when I had nothing in me to give. Like, I let one human being make me so low that, like, I didn't even remember who I was. I was scared to get in the studio. Like, I didn't believe in myself. All of a sudden, in Miami, I started catching a vibe as soon as I went to Miami. Like, as soon as I changed locations, I started catching a vibe. And then one day I got the vibe, it's time to go to New York. And you were there and you saw what was happening and it started being incredible. Coco Chanel, Miami, good form. All of those things just started as mumbles in the studio in New York.
I am crazy. Pray for the young people. You know what this is. It's not a game. And please understand very clearly, there is zero woosah moments, me talking about situations for over more than a decade and a half, and then all of a sudden everybody woke up like, whoa, yo, we thought you were crazy. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm crazy to tell a mother on 3 forms of public transportation across a bridge to get to work to support me that, hey, I may have to pass on these opportunities for scholarships because I'm gonna write a song and we're gonna eat for the rest of our lives. That's crazy. But what I am not is a liar. That I'm not. All I did was give the science. I was ignored, laughed at, ridiculed, things of that nature. But that's okay. My God is so much bigger than my God got me. And I got you.
Stating that what he is accused of doing is nothing new in the world of famous entertainers. He argued that flying women out for parties or intimate gatherings is a common practice among celebrities and should not be considered illegal. Boozy questioned whether it is fair to label women who willingly participate in these experiences as prostitutes, suggesting that if that were the case, then many women would fall under that category. He expressed concerns about the
Diddy party stories. They're our favorite genre of anecdote. If you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow. Okay, I've got a lot. I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Feel like
we still have some time to go. You know, I can blow it here.
Okay.
Kiala, about Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, spinning. I mean, this guy is a master promoter. Okay? And the allegation is that Combs aided and abetted his son in this attack.
This is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles, physically Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically.
Made a bail appeal to Judge Carter. It did not go our way. The fight continues. We're not giving up by a long shot. I told Mr. Combs I'm going to try and get his case to trial as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and minimize the amount of time he spends in very, very difficult and I believe inhumane housing conditions in the special housing unit in Metropolitan Detention.
Instead of addressing things calmly or defending himself with facts, Diddy jumped straight into violent tactics. The situation with Wendy Williams was just the start. In recent years, more disturbing allegations about Diddy's violent behavior have come to light. One of the most shocking claims came from Cassie. After staying quiet for years, she filed a lawsuit that sent shockwaves through the industry. In her lawsuit, Cassie accused Diddy of not only manipulating and abusing her during their 10-year relationship, but also forcing her into degrading and humiliating situations. She claimed Diddy made her engage in uncomfortable, non-consensual acts, including being intimate with male escorts at his infamous parties. Cassie said Diddy controlled every part of her life, who she saw, what she did, and how she behaved. The lawsuit was so intense that it even had a trigger warning at the beginning, showing just how serious the accusations were. As usual, Diddy tried to make the problem go away by settling out of court, thinking that money would fix everything. But this time he was wrong. The settlement opened the door for more women to come forward with their own stories about Diddy's alleged behavior. One woman even claimed she was very young when the abuse happened, raising even more concerns about what really went on at Diddy's notorious parties. To be clear, the issue isn't Diddy's sexual orientation. People don't care who he's attracted to or what he does in private. What matters is how he allegedly treated others. Multiple accusers describe Diddy as manipulative and controlling, which is why these allegations have become such a big deal. The issue isn't about who Diddy is attracted to. It's about how he allegedly used his power to control and abuse others, while keeping it all hidden. The secrecy around these actions only makes things more unsettling. What's even more troubling is the level of control Diddy reportedly had over the people around him. Cassie's lawsuit revealed how Diddy allegedly forced her to engage in intimate acts with male escorts while he watched from the sidelines. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, backed this up by explaining that these freak-offs were organized to satisfy Diddy's desires. Gene painted a disturbing picture of these gatherings, describing how Diddy allegedly sat back and watched others engage in explicit acts for his own pleasure. Cassie's lawsuit detailed how Diddy made specific requests for the men he hired, showing that these parties weren't just wild get-togethers. They were meant to satisfy Diddy's particular tastes and fantasies, but Cassie wasn't the only one caught in Diddy's twisted world. Gene Deal hinted that Diddy's control extended beyond romantic relationships, suggesting that he manipulated young people in the industry, both men and women, for his own benefit. According to Gene, these extravagant parties were not about fun, but about power. Diddy allegedly enjoyed making others submit to his will, leaving those around him feeling helpless to stop it. However, Cat Williams has never been one to follow those rules. Known for exposing the darker side of Hollywood, Cat built his reputation on calling out the shady dealings in the industry. While most people stay quiet, Cat refuses to be silenced. Even when it puts him at risk, Cat Williams' interview on Club Shay was explosive, revealing some harsh truths from someone who has seen it all and isn't afraid to speak out. Cat is known for not avoiding controversy, especially when it comes to exposing the dark side of the entertainment industry. He's built his career on being outspoken, and he's not afraid to call out things that others won't. When you combine his boldness with the secretive world Diddy allegedly moves in, you get a situation full of conflict, and Cat doesn't back down. In his Club Shay interview, Cat touched on some of Hollywood's most hidden secrets, things most people wouldn't dare mention. He's been openly critical of Diddy for years, accusing him of questionable relationships with young men in the industry. This wasn't a one-time comment. Cat has been speaking out against Diddy since as far back as 2011. That's when he first made serious allegations about both Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, claiming they were involved in inappropriate activities with young boys, specifically the members of the rap group Criss Cross. Chris Kelly and Chris Smith. Cat claimed that these boys, discovered as kids, were exploited by Dupri and Diddy. According to him, these young boys were used and passed around within the industry, a disturbing accusation. Chris Kelly, one of the Criss Cross members, struggled with drug addiction later in life, and Cat linked this to the abuse he allegedly suffered as a child. Cat suggested that these boys were promised fame and fortune but ended up with exploitation and trauma instead. The saddest part? They were too young to understand what was really happening. Cat recalled an interview with Chris Kelly where he admitted that when they were first approached by Jermaine Dupri at a mall in Atlanta, his initial thought was that Dupri might be a predator. "We were just playing video games when this guy came up to us talking about making us rap stars. I told my dad the guy was probably a child molester," Kelly said. The innocence in that statement is heartbreaking. It's especially heartbreaking when you consider how their story ended up. But it wasn't just the boys of Criss Cross who were allegedly caught in this twisted system. Cat Williams also hinted that Diddy had similar intentions for the members of his girl group, Donity Kane. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, shared his own shocking story, claiming that he once overheard Diddy talking about how he planned to drug them out and pimp them out. According to Gene, Diddy said this casually, like it was just part of the business. The idea that Diddy might have viewed the young women in his group as nothing more than tools to be used and exploited is disturbing. Sadly, it lines up with what others have alleged. Cat Williams wasn't finished with Diddy, though. When he called out both Diddy and Jermaine Dupri, he didn't hold back.
Whatever Justin is doing, I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And so what I want to say to Justin Bieber and to everybody that's following the situation is that Justin Bieber is a victim. I was horrified when I saw this, not because of the idea that Justin Bieber would be engaged in these sorts of things at these parties, but because I understood that this was a kid who was intentionally targeted by Diddy, as the video show, told that he wants to party with him. Justin Bieber didn't do that to himself. Like I said, Justin Bieber was, in my view, a child victim. And as these videos are circulating on the internet, I want to make sure people remember that and give him the grace as someone who has somehow survived this, turned to family, turned to faith, and is still very much struggling with all of this. For people to give him the grace and the courage and the prayers to hopefully one day find within himself the strength to speak out about what happened. Anyways, it seems to be that it is all falling down in Hollywood. We will continue to monitor that story, but I do encourage everybody to pray for Justin Bieber.
Beginning, like the first 3.5 years, he was, like the first 3 to 4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being that.
A new civil lawsuit claims Sean Diddy Combs repeatedly passed off dancer and adult film actress Adria English to be by partygoers during events at his New York and Miami houses between 2006 and 2009.
Puppy's like...
Oh, shit. What'd he say?
To describe Puppy in one word is it's jostle. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and...
Nah. Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely.
Sex trafficking, interstate transportation for... The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs threatened and coerced victims to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal.
Aubrey O'Day isn't holding back her thoughts on Sean Diddy Combs' bombshell legal troubles. Aubrey noted in a social media post that she feels hope that Diddy's case marks a long-awaited turning point, writing, "The purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for women all over the world, not just me. Things are finally changing."
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. Combs had been living there for several weeks. A person with knowledge of the investigation told NBC News the arrest was based on a sealed indictment brought by the Southern District of New York. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment.
Okay, so.
But that's not a diss. Meek likes being brought up in that song. I don't know why you lowering his thing. You think you're doing him a favor. He's very, very happy being mentioned, I'm pretty sure.
Victory. However you give it to us, we want to give you thanks for 2020. 2020 has been an incredible year. 2020 has been a great year. Please bless us that in 2021, we're not the same that we was in 2020, that we have excelled, that we have gone to a higher frequency, a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of kindness, a higher level of self-love to eat the right things and to take care of ourselves, a higher level of self-love, especially for anybody, but for my people, Black people. Please bless them to love themselves enough to start fighting back in any way, because nobody should be oppressed. like this. Nobody should be treated like this. And God, I know that you know. And God, give us the courage in 2021, if anybody's being oppressed, to be able to destroy their oppressor. And God, 2020 was something. 2021, we pray. We pray.
He went so far as to call them pimps, accusing Diddy and Jermaine Dupri of using their power to exploit young artists in the industry. What's even more shocking is that, despite knowing how Kat felt about him, Diddy allegedly tried to proposition him. According to Kat, Diddy offered him a staggering $50 million for just one night together. Kat turned him down, but the fact that such an offer was made raised serious questions about Diddy's need for control. After Kat rejected him, things reportedly got worse. Diddy was furious, and insiders claimed that he allegedly sent people after Kat with a plan to kidnap him and take him to a secret location where Diddy could get what he wanted. Thankfully, Kat escaped, but the whole experience only made him more determined to speak out about the dark side of the industry. To Kat, it wasn't just about Diddy's proposition. It was about being forced into one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties against his will. Do you think something like that would make Kat want to lay low? But it had the opposite effect. It fueled his desire to expose the truth. After the incident, Kat didn't just stick to his claims about Diddy. He dropped another bombshell about Diddy's close relationship with Jay-Z. According to Kat, their bond wasn't just a friendship. He hinted there was something more intimate going on between the two men. Kat wasn't the only one to suggest this. Jaguar Wright, a singer who has spoken out about the dark side of the music industry, gave an interview where she outright accused Diddy and Jay-Z of being involved in something deeper. More than just friends. She claimed there were intimate moments between the two men that the public didn't know about. In her interview, she hinted at their relationship, calling out what she saw as a secret that had been hiding in plain sight for years. As if on cue, 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to tease, jumped into the conversation, especially after Cassie's lawsuit became public. He has a history of mocking Diddy, and this time, he went all out. After Diddy's fourth lawsuit, 50 Cent sarcastically said that Diddy would be fine because he has foo money and could just pay people off to make his problems go away. He even shared videos of comedians like Eddie Griffin making jokes about Diddy, continuing his relentless mockery on social media. But Kat's claims about Diddy and Jay-Z didn't just stop at personal relationships. He also suggested something even darker, that the two men were involved in grooming women together. This shocking claim was supported by other sources who have long suggested that Diddy and Jay-Z engaged in troubling behavior behind the scenes. Jaguar Wright backed these claims, accusing Jay-Z of having an inappropriate relationship with Foxy Brown when she was just a teenager. Kat also linked Diddy to one of the most notorious scandals in the music industry, R. Kelly's relationship with Aaliyah. He pointed out that even after it was revealed that R. Kelly had married Aaliyah when she was a minor, Jay-Z continued to work with him, even releasing a joint album during the allegations. Kat's suggestion was clear. Diddy and Jay-Z were both complicit in the exploitation and abuse of young women, and neither of them was innocent. Perhaps most disturbingly, Kat hinted that Diddy helped Jay-Z control Beyoncé. There have been long-standing rumors that Jay-Z has manipulated Beyoncé, keeping her under his control with drugs, and Kat suggested that Diddy might have been involved. This claim was also supported by Jaguar Wright, who described similar concerns. Jay-Z is being seen as a monster who is obsessed with controlling Beyoncé. With all these accusations coming out, it's no surprise that fans are questioning Diddy's entire legacy. The man who once seemed untouchable is now facing many legal battles and shocking revelations. Cat Williams, who has been calling out Hollywood for years, is at the center of it all. Fans are starting to believe what Cat has been saying for decades, that the entertainment industry is full of secrets, lies, and dark behavior. For years, Cat was labeled as crazy, blacklisted, and pushed to the sidelines, but now it seems he was telling the truth all along. Many fans are buzzing about the situation, with some pointing out that Cat has been exposing Hollywood for years, but no one wanted to listen. One fan said, Cat has been telling the truth for over 2 decades, and they've tried to destroy his reputation to make him go away, but he keeps coming back. Another fan added, "We've always known about Diddy, but I suspected Jay-Z had his secrets too." Cat is finally revealing everything, and it's about time people started paying attention. As more revelations come to light, the entertainment world is reeling from what feels like an endless wave of scandals. What happens next? We'll just have to wait and see.